I think what's interesting about this, usually we talk about what has happened and kind of recap and assess, and we can do that today, but it sort of sets the stage for this weekend going up against a Dodgers team where you feel like, okay, you've gotten up off the mat, you're 2 games over 500, you're a game and a half out of a playoff spot. This is the measuring stick. And, I know the Phillies beat them up last regular season and it didn't matter come October, but this is going to be an interesting weekend. I think it's sort of like all right, where are these guys really at? And the only thing I ask of them is to not get swept.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to get swept, because if you get swept, it kind of undoes everything that you just did, right? And it kind of will leave us on Monday morning when we reconvene kind of questioning, what are they? Are they just a 500 team? Or, I think you have to win at least one this weekend. If you win at least one this weekend, you can take away and say, okay, look, you lost 2 out of 3 of the Dodgers, but you went 4-2 on the trip. That's good. That's more than you could have asked for going out west. So you got to win at least one. So you're right. Just don't get swept. And I don't think they will. I don't. I mean, you're avoiding.
I mean, look, you have to get one of the first 2. Wheeler, Wrobleski tonight. I know Wrobleski's a lefty, but you got to find a way. And if you don't, then Luzardo, Sasaki tomorrow should be an advantage. I mean, you should have the advantage in that game. They have moved back Andrew Painter now to pitch Sunday against Yamamoto, giving him an extra day. And obviously, I don't love the Phillies in that matchup. So, the front end of this series, though, should give them an opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. I think the big one is tonight, right? Against I know, like you said, Wrobleski's a lefty, and they do struggle against lefties. But it's just that I just love the way Zack Wheeler's pitching right now, and I think that there's a message to be sent tonight, Bob, in this sense. Like, yeah, you guys got us in October last year, but you didn't have to face this guy. Yeah. And if we had this guy, could have been a different outcome. And I think that's I know it doesn't mean anything in the regular season, but that is a seed that you can plant in the back of the head, because if you do end up running into the Dodgers again in the playoffs, right? Whether it's the division series or NLCS or whatever, if you do run into them again, it is something that you have to think about. It is something you have to sit there and go, well, they shut us down last year. Oh, and by the way, they now have Zack Wheeler too, which they didn't have last year. So I think it matters.
A little bit about this on Tuesday. I mean, this series is really big for the framing of how you view this team, and it is a struggle offense. I mean, like I said to you the other day. I mean, we're going to talk about Cristopher Sanchez here in a moment. I said to you, yes, like this is remarkable. What's equally remarkable is that they can't find a way to square up balls against Walker Buehler. So it is a struggle from an offensive perspective, but if you get in, it's a point that a lot of people have made. I think we made it the other day. If you go out there this week and Luzardo throws the ball well, Wheeler throws the ball well, it just further cements this idea that, the Phillies are super flawed and they might actually finish 20 games behind the Dodgers in the regular season. But having gone through what they did last October, and seeing the way that this rotation can perform at the top, if I were the Dodgers, I'd say, give me anybody but the Phillies. I want no part of that team. I think there's something to be said for that. And we destroy this team. I pick apart the Phillies left and right. So I don't think anybody's going to accuse me of being Johnny Rah-Rah or Homer or giving the Phillies too much credit. I think it'd be hard to do that. But I think if you're being real about it, they would be – I believe, given the way that Sanchez is throwing the ball and then Zack Wheeler being who he is, I wouldn't want anything to do with him.
Well, that's the thing. And I think you're right, Bob, because put yourselves in the Dodgers' shoes for a second, right? Look around the National League and say, does any of the teams that are in playoff contention currently, do any of their pitching staffs scare you in a series in October? The Phillies are the only one, really. I mean, could you say the Pirates if they're all healthy? Sure. If Keller's going well, if Jared Jones is healthy when he comes back, obviously Skeens is a stud. Like, Yeah. Okay, fine. But it's also still it's the Pirates, right? Like they've not been here before. They're not battle tested. The Braves, like okay, Sale. I mean, Bryce Elder's coming back to earth a little bit in his last start, right? Starting to see like he's not top of the rotation, really a top of the rotation guy. Strider's still not Strider. And I'm not certain he ever will be. Sale's still a stud, but that's it. Like, I don't know. Like, I if I'm the Dodgers and I look around the National League, I say the one team that I want to avoid from a pitching perspective, it's the Phillies.